Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Hi, guys. We'll wait just a couple minutes for everybody to get in. I hope you're all feeling well today. I hope you're feeling well if you got your vaccine earlier. I hope you're not feeling sick or feeling unwell. It's good to see you guys. So today we're going to have class from 1:20 until about 1:45, and then from 2:10 until about 2:35. Okay? We're coming to the end of our book. So today we're going to talk a little bit about what we learned, and we're going to do some other reading, and um, we're going to talk about a project that I would like you to do. Okay? Make sure your microphone is working and your camera is working. And let me share with you my screen just a moment. Please take out your student interactive and your pencil and eraser. So I want us to remember a little bit about what we learned. So we're coming to the end of this book. This was Unit 4, this book. And this book, the theme was about history. And we talked a lot about history and people in the past. And we talked about what we can learn from people in the past and what we can learn about helping others. And we had a number of different readings. As you can see on this page, 224 and 225, please turn to this page now. And it says here the theme is making history. Down here you can see our essential question. The question is, why is the past important? And we talked a lot about the past, and we read about some people from the past. Let's take a look at some of the stories that we read. We read Through Georgia's Eyes. Remember, Georgia was an artist, an American artist, and she was one of the first very famous women artists in the past. We have Jackie Robinson. This was a biography about this black American baseball player, and he was one of the first African Americans to play in the major leagues. We read Before the Railroad Came. This story told us about Samuel and his family and told us about how technology changed the lives of him and his family. The technology was the railroad. Remember, before the railroad, they had to take their cows to the market using a cattle drive. So they would walk a long distance to take their cows to the market to sell them. So the railroad changed his life quite a bit and the life of his family. So we talked a little bit about how technology and the change of technology changes the future for us. Then we read What is the Story of Our Flag and the First American Flag. Both of these stories were about the development of the American flag and how we got to the flag that we have today and what the flag looked like many, many years ago. And it talked about a few people that helped to design and to make the first flag. It talked about the stars and the stripes and what they mean in the flag. Okay? And then finally, in week 5, we read Eleanor Roosevelt. We just finished this one. Eleanor Roosevelt was a very important woman from the past who helped to get rights for other people who didn't have as many rights, right? So she helped to work for the rights of women and for African Americans and for everyday working Americans. And her husband was the president as well, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Okay? So guys, in this page, it says here, look back at each text. Find a picture that shows something or someone from the past. Write the page number of the picture. So this is what I would like you to do right now. So get your pencil and your eraser and your book ready. And I want you to look back to each story. The story from week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Not 6, sorry, not 6. Week 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Remember, week 4 has 2 stories, so you can choose a page number from either story or from both stories. You can choose one page number. I want you to look back and I want you to find a picture from each story that shows something in the past and write the page number for the page that has that picture. Write it here in the space. Okay, and then I want you to be ready to talk about that picture and talk about what it shows from the past. Okay? So I'm going to give you about 3 to 5 minutes, and I want you to do that now. Okay? Let me just stop sharing this so I can see if anybody has a question. Yolanda, do you have a question? Okay, turn your microphone on and speak loudly, please. I can't hear you, sweetie. You got to speak loud.
I'm finished.
You're finished. Wow, you're very fast. Okay, you will be one of the first people that I ask, okay? Let me write your name down so I can remember to ask you first. Let's give your classmates a little bit time to finish, okay? So, Yolanda, you wrote a page number for each of those stories?
Yes.
Yes, and you can talk about what you see on each of those pages?
Yes.
That's wonderful. I'm so glad you finished so fast. Thank you, Yolanda. You do your work very nicely. Yolanda, one of the things that we're going to do this week is we're going to talk about interviewing someone. We're going to talk about interviewing an older person that we know, maybe mom, maybe dad, maybe grandma, grandpa, maybe an aunt or an uncle, maybe an older family friend, and talk to them about somebody who was important to them in their past and why that person was important and what that person did. So, Yolanda, one of the things that you can start to think about is you can start to think about who you might talk to and who you might ask some questions of and what kind of questions you might ask them, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you, Yolanda. Yolanda, is it raining where you are?
Yes.
It's raining a lot here at my house. It's so wet here. Oh, I see a few other people are finished. Zoe, are you finished?
Yes.
Excellent. I'm going to ask you second, okay?
Okay.
Who is this? Is that Alyssa with her red glasses? Alyssa, are you finished?
No, I don't know what page.
You don't know what page? Page 224 and 225 is the page we're starting on. And on those two pages, I want you to write some other page numbers from the stories, okay? Why don't you take a moment to read what it says at the top? And if you have another question, you can ask me, okay? Mr. Lucas, are you finished, sir?
No.
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 Do you have a question, Lucas?
No.
Okay, you put your hand up, so I thought you had a question. Dr. Ken, do you have a question?
Already finished.
Ken's finished. Miss Cindy, are you finished? No? Cindy, do you have a question?
No, no.
No, okay. You're not finished?
I finished one.
Okay, well, I don't see you working. Keep working. You look like you stopped working, but you're not finished, so I'm confused. Dr. Lucas, you have a question?
No.
No? Okay. I'm going to put the hand icon down. If you don't have a question, don't put that little hand up, okay? Rachel, do you have a question?
I finished.
All right, sister, you're number 3. I'm going to ask you the third person, okay? Rachel, you can talk about all the pictures and what they are from the past? Andrea, do you have a question?
Yes.
What's your question, dear?
I'm done.
All right, Andrea's number 4. Please be patient. Eleanor, are you okay there? Do you have a question, Eleanor?
Oh.
No? Okay. I guess Yolanda's just waiting for everybody. She's taking a nap. Sleepy Yolanda. Betty, are you done?
Yes.
All right, Betty's done. Gladys, question?
I am done.
You're done. All right. Gladys is finished. Alyssa, you're finished?
Yes.
Good girl. Alyssa is finished.
We share.
Let's see here. Mr. Ray, are you done? No? Dr. Gordon, you're finished? All right, Gordon's done. Lucas, done?
No.
No, okay. Winnie? Winnie's still working, it looks like. That's okay. All right, I'll give you guys a couple more minutes. Cindy?
You need to write the page number when
Yeah.
it starts, or you write the page where you think is very old.
I want you to write the page number that has a picture of something from the past that you can talk about for each story. Okay?
Okay.
All right? Good girl. All right, we got to hurry because I think Yolanda's getting bored over there. She's jumping on the sofa. All right. If you're not finished, that's okay. I'm going to get us started and we're going to talk about it. If you're not finished, you can write the page numbers, one of the page numbers for one of the other people that I'm going to call on, okay? Let me show my screen again, and I'm going to ask, let's see here. Excuse me. Let me, okay. I am going to ask Yolanda. Yolanda, for the story Through Georgia's Eyes, what page number did you write about?
27.
27. And what do you see on page 27? I'm going to write your page number here, 27. Okay. What did you see on page 27? I'm going to take a look at my book real quickly.
Georgia is
Oh, I know. It's this picture right here, right? The first page. Yeah? And what is that a picture of?
Georgia is
What is she doing in that picture?
drawing.
Is she painting? She's painting those, what is she painting?
I don't know.
You don't know? I think it's a very big flower, remember? Do you remember how Georgia loves nature? And she painted those really big flower pictures to show people how she felt about nature. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And it told us that when people looked at those really giant flowers, they would feel like little butterflies because the flowers were so big. Do you remember that? Okay, awesome. Let's see what Ken wrote. Ken, how about you, sir? What page number did you write for this story? Same story, Ken.
27.
You also wrote 27. Oh, okay. Well, let's see. Did anybody else write a different page number for this story? Not the first page? Cindy, how about you?
I wrote 41.
41. Let me check this one. Oh, this one, right?
Yes.
Okay, what is that a picture of?
Picture of a dragon. The bone.
It's a bone, right? It's a skull. Skull, a skull. That's the head bone, right? And what animal is this skull from?
Dinosaur.
Maybe it's a dinosaur. I think it's a cow, but it could be a dinosaur. And how did Eleanor feel? How did Georgia feel about this bone, this skull? Did the bones scare her?
No.
No. It even tells us, right? It says the bones didn't frighten her. Some people will be afraid of bones, but not Eleanor. She thought they were very interesting, right? Because she loved nature so much.
Yes.
Yes. Cindy, thank you for your nice answer. Let's go to Ken. Ken, what page number did you write down for Jackie Robinson?
79.
79. Let me take a look. 79. What happens on page 79, Ken? What is that a picture of? Who is that in the picture there, Ken?
Jackie Robinson.
Jackie Robinson. And how do you know that's a picture from the past? Is that picture a color picture or a black and white picture?
Black and white picture.
So is that one way that you can know it's a picture from the past?
Yes.
And it shows Jackie Robinson playing on the baseball team? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Ken. Did anybody else write a different page number for Jackie Robinson, not the first page? Somebody? I can't see your video, guys, so you have to use the little raise hand picture. Oh, Cindy again. Hey, Cindy. Cindy, what page did you write?
94.
94. Let me check that one. 94. What's on page 94? What do you see?
Many people.
Many people. Who are those people?
Major League people.
Yeah, they're Major League Baseball players. That's right. They're Jackie Robinson's teammates, I think. And so they're also black players, right? They're also African Americans. So remember that Jackie Robinson was one of the first African Americans to play in the major leagues. And after him, it was easier for other African Americans to also play in the major leagues, right?
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Cindy. Zoe, I saw you raised your hand as well. Zoe, what page did you write down for Jackie Robinson?
92.
92. And what do you see on page 92, dear? Is there's a just a drawing on that page, right? It's not a photo.
Yes.
Yeah, what is that drawing of?
Is some teammate is telling things to Jackie Robinson.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you're talking about what it says, right? Not the picture. Okay. Yeah, so it talked about how they didn't treat him nicely, right? Because they didn't want him to play in the major leagues because he was a black American. That's right. Thank you, Zoe. How about my friend Rachel? Rachel, can you tell us what page you wrote for Before the Railroad Came?
215.
215, 215. 215. I don't think that's part of this story. This one? Page 215? No, maybe you mean a different page. Did you mean one? No, that's not it either. The story Before the Railroad Came. Do you know where that one is? Let me ask Rachel, Andrea.
125.
125. Okay, the first page for this story. And what do you see in that first page of the story, Before the Railroad Came? Rachel, can you tell us about what you see on that page?
I see
Samuel and his dad and her cow are seeing the real world.
Okay, they're watching the railroad come through the land for the first time, right? Okay, guys, because I need to give you a break pretty soon, I'm going to give you a couple suggestions for week 4 and week 5 stories, okay? For my book, in my book on page, for week 4, about the flag stories, I wrote page 165. On page 165, I see a picture of Betsy Ross. And people think Betsy Ross was the woman who helped to sew the first flag, right? Remember, she was a seamstress. And many people think she was the woman who helped to make the first flag. Then, for week 5, Eleanor Roosevelt, let me tell you which page I wrote. I wrote page 208. On 208, I see a picture of Eleanor Roosevelt helping women to get jobs. It said that she helped women to become leaders and helped them to write stories for newspapers and magazines. So she helped women to get more rights at a time when women didn't have the same rights as men had. Okay? I had a few other questions I wanted to ask you guys, but our time is running out, so I want to talk about them again. Or I'm going to talk about them and I would like you guys to listen, okay? I was going to ask you how Jackie Robinson and Eleanor Roosevelt are the same. And I was hoping that maybe you would tell me that Jackie Robinson and Eleanor Roosevelt both helped to make the world a better place, right? And they did that by helping other people. They did that by helping other people who didn't have the same rights as they had. Remember that one of our themes for this book has been about equality. And equality means being equal, that things are the same, even if people look differently, or they come from different places, or they have more money or less money, that they are treated equally. They are treated the same. Okay? I was also going to ask you about week 4 stories, the stories about the flag. I was going to ask you how they are different from the other stories in this unit. And I was hoping that you would tell me that one way that they're different is that those 2 stories are informational texts, right? They give us information about how the flag became the way it is today. And that's different than week 1, 2, and 5 because those are biographies, right? And week 3 is also different because that's a historical fiction. So in here we had 3 biographies, 1 historical fiction, and 2 informational texts. So we had different genres, different kinds of reading and writing. Okay, I had another question I was going to ask you, which is, I was going to ask you how Samuel in the story Before the Railroad Came, and how Georgia in Georgia's eyes, through Georgia's eyes, how those 2 people were the same and different. And I hope that you were going to tell me that part of it was about nature and the city. Georgia didn't want to live in the city. She wanted to get away from the city. But Samuel, because he grew up always in the country, he wanted to go and visit the city because he had never gone there before. Right? And that's something that's the same about them is that both Samuel and Georgia, at some time in their life, they lived on a farm or a ranch. So they lived close to nature. Okay, if you don't have a page number written for one of these, you can write the page numbers that I wrote. When we come back, we're going to do a little bit of reading, and we're going to talk about your week 6 project that maybe we will do a little bit this week and maybe a little bit week after next, after your test, okay? All right, guys, I'll give you a short break. Please come back, be back in the classroom at 2:10, and we will have class from 2:10 to 2:35, okay? I'll see you soon, guys. Bye-bye, everybody. See you soon.
Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye.